Bring it back. 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 Bring it back.
This is very hard to explain because it's a complex technology, but...
I almost got it right. From the And the Groove Remains production team studios in the Netherlands. My name is Mixmaster G and welcome to this live stream. My mission is not to sell as many apps as I can. No, my mission is to educate, teach, help you with audio track collection management and conversion for DJs. So you save yourself some time for the fun and creative part of being a DJ. As each week, before we start this stream, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Mixmaster G. I am a 58-year-old dude from the Netherlands. I had my first DJ residency at the age of 15, which means this is over 40 years of DJ experience in the flesh. I am no longer an active DJ. I call myself a retired DJ. I do a few gigs a year, but nothing even close to what it used to be back in the 80s and 90s. However, you may know me from a little app that I wrote, and that app is called, if we have the correct screen, it's one of those days. Why is this screen not capturing? Hold on, folks. That's weird. Because as you can see, this is the old screen and I need the new screen. Let me reboot OBS just a second. There we are. One of those days, huh? Like I said, I am the guy who developed the DJ conversion utility. That is the world leading conversion tool for DJs that helps you to go between various DJ software, maintaining your cues, your loops, your beat grid and all that other stuff. So you don't have to redo that all over again if you want to change DJ software. For instance, it is not the only app I wrote. I created a ton of apps for DJs and they are all aimed at making your life as a DJ a little bit easier. Each Tuesday, 7 o'clock p.m. Central European time, and mind you, we in the Netherlands are right now on winter time, so daylight saving, which means that if you are in the US, there might be an hour difference with my usual normal time until we are all geared up and be on the same time slot. I host this Ask Me Anything live stream where we nerd out about all kinds of DJ technology. We talk about the news in the world of the DJ stuff. And of course, I try to answer your questions. And I don't only try to answer those questions, I also try to demonstrate how certain things can be done. And sometimes, if I have a video on the topic, I send you to one of those videos. Each Wednesday, that is the day after the stream, I make a time index below the video that will help you navigate the stream from the previous day. And that makes life a little bit easier, especially if you want to look for a specific topic. This stream and anything on my YouTube channel is not monetized. I switched that off because I hate commercials in the middle of videos myself. However, that also means that my YouTube channel and those videos are a little bit harder to discover. So I would appreciate it if you give this video, if you like what I'm doing, the thumbs up, share, like, subscribe and all that other good stuff. But most importantly, tell your DJ friends about the availability of this information online totally for free without commercial interruptions. This live stream is live on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube and kind of Instagram. However, if you are on Instagram, you better join us at YouTube, Twitch or Facebook because I cannot see the Instagram comments. I can see them from all other platforms, but not from Instagram. The YouTube video will be the only one that goes to the archive. So the Facebook video will be removed after the live stream and Twitch doesn't have an archive anymore. So that is all fine. Let's go and see what's happening in the chat right now, because there are already some people there. 𝗪𝗪𝗪 from Chaotic Entertainment in the building. Good to see you, my friend. We will talk a little bit about the Namm Show 2026 today, so stay tuned there. 𝐻𝐸𝐴, hey Mixmaster G, hope you're keeping well, my friend. I'm doing great, 𝐻𝐸𝐴. I just kind of got my energy back after Amsterdam Dance event last week, but all things are good right here. 𝐻𝐸𝐴 says, I think one library should give you a job overseeing the whole operation and implementation. You're the best person for the job, in my opinion. Thank you, 𝐻𝐸𝐴. And we are behind the scenes trying to establish exactly that. Like I said in the previous stream, I tried to set up a committee that oversees what I call not the one library, because that's dead in the water. That is not the technology you want. No, what you want is one collection. And that one collection will be a database on your computer that everybody can read from and write to at will. So no locks on it. However, that database will be kind of restricted about what it does. So it will store playlists, it will store queues with their colors and their names. It will store loops with the hot or the active loop property, colors and a name. It will store beat grids, it will store BPM, it will store that kind of stuff. And all DJ software should access that. Specific things for DJ software, like for instance my tags or memory queues, leave that to the DJ software itself. That is not something that I want to have in the centralized database. And that's what we are trying to do. Let's see. Cross in the building. Hi, 𝐷𝐞𝐿. Hi, Cross. Good to have you with us. 𝗏, you look like you had a blast at Amsterdam Dance Event. Yes, I indeed had a very good time. DJ Matt official, evening 𝐷𝐸. Hope all is well with you. All is well, very well here, DJ Matt. Thank you and great to have you with us. Like I said, last week was Amsterdam Dance Event, and I have the honor, because that is kind of an honor these days, to be an official partner at the Amsterdam Dance Event, which meant that I was part of what is called Gear Lab, the ADE Gear Lab, which was at a brand new location at the Westerpark, which is a gorgeous location. And I was a little bit afraid that there wouldn't be too much traffic, because this location is a long way from the normal location. It's not at the center of Amsterdam. It's like well, at least 30-minute walk from where it used to be. And it was bloody windy and rainy during Amsterdam Dance Event. So I was afraid that traffic would be an issue, but lucky enough, a lot of people were able to find it. We were kind of like packed like sardines in the location where we were at, because there were way too many people there exhibiting compared to the floor space that we had at our disposal. But I had a great time. I can say that I had, by far, of all the people that had a booth there, had the best booth, because I had the bar behind me, and that also meant that I had more walking space than all the other people and all the other participants at the booth. Special word of thank you to the people from Decksavers, 𝐷𝐸, because 𝐷𝐸 happens to be a user of all my apps. And 𝐷𝐸 gave me a little present, because right now, and this is unique, I've got CDJ 3000X Decksavers. They are out. I'm not sure if they are widely available yet, but let me switch that to this. And then, of course, why is that stream? Why is that? That's weird. Hold on. Because that should just work. Check. And now the 𝐸𝐴TM officially died. Let me switch that back for a moment like this. And let's, there we are. And can I zoom out a little bit? Yeah, there we go. So I've got this thing right here, which is a Decksaver 43000X. And 𝐷𝐸 was kind enough to give me a pair of them. So thank you, 𝐷𝐸. And if you are watching this, 𝐷𝐸, then please know that I don't have your email address, because I promised 𝐷𝐸 to send something back. So 𝐷𝐸 from Decksavers, if you're watching this, please contact me so I can keep up on my promise that I gave you. But for everybody else, the Decksavers for the 3000X are out now. And of course I have everything in the studio under Decksavers. If there is a Decksaver for it, I have the Decksaver. When it comes to mixers, Like this is for my V10, which is a huge Decksaver, as you might imagine. I always cut out a little hole at the side. Maybe, I hope the cam can pick it up. Yeah, you can see it like this. So the USB of the mixer doesn't need to be disconnected because that's on the top of a DJI mixer. And that hole makes sure that you can you see it like that? But the hole is right here, and that hole I can get the cord through. So that was the Amsterdam Dance event. DJ Matt Official, with regards to the One Library, do you think it will ever be available to all the Pioneer standalone, that is the 2000X DJ, etc., etc., with a firmware update like the recent 3000 firmware update? DJ Matt Official, no, I don't think that. I think the 3000X might technically be possible for the 2000 Nexus 2, but I don't see 𝐷𝐴 investing anything in that. In general, 𝐷𝐴 is never very good at providing new features to gear that is already on the market. That is not what they do. So no, don't expect that, and I know that is a problem, but it is what it is. The technology is possible to read that SQLite database, but for compatibility reasons they now have two libraries on the same USB. We spoke about it in length last week, and I will speak again about One Library today because there are some things that you need to know. There are also ways to make that One Library an old device library, but it is all kind of sketchy. It is not really what I like to do, but I will show you that in a moment. I will show you how you can make a One Library actually work on all the devices too. So if I forget it, DJ Matt, please remind me. Let's look at my thing. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is that now Amsterdam Dance event is all behind me. There is a new event on the horizon where I will take place, and that event of course is the Namm Show in Anaheim. And for all of you interested, I got my Namm Show booth assignment. So right here it is loading, as you can see, and the Namm Show will be this year. I will have this booth, which means if you zoom out a little bit, this is the 𝐷𝐴 booth right there. I will be usually like I'm usually at the 12-inch skins area, and jetpack bags will also be in my area. So that can be fun because those are friends of mine. It is not really the very best space that I could wish for. However, they had planned me before here something like here, and that would even be worse because if you are like there, then you are too far away from the 𝐷𝐴 booth. And I always say behind the 𝐷𝐴 booth is a line that DJs don't cross. It's like somebody put a line out there and they don't cross it. So traffic will be a little bit light already there. But of course, if you are going to be at the Namm Show, and I will speak about this again later on, then please, please, please don't forget to pay me a visit. The booth number is 11029, as you can see. And that is about the Namm Show and what I wanted to share. The next thing is from our friends at Native Instruments. Like I already announced, we are going to do some Native Instruments love, and that love is coming in a few ways. Close this down. Why can't I close this? I want to close this down. No. Sorry for the ads, folks, but this is the only site that I saw speaking about it. Our friends from Native Instruments introduced a new version of Traktor called Traktor Play. And I saw about this even before the Amsterdam Dance event. I saw the demo on the Native Instruments booth because they were kind of neighbors at the ADE Gear Lab. But apart from that, there is not much to tell about it. It's like a very Traktor Lite version. But the fun part is that actually it is the full Traktor, but because of the serial number you have to enter in it, it will be light. It will not work with everything. It will not have all the features of the full featured Traktor. I will put a link in the comments below the video tomorrow, so everybody can read about the Traktor Play. I am really not that impressed, but it will work or even work for free with the entry level 𝐷𝐴𝐴 Pioneer DJ controllers like the Flex 2 and the Flex 4. And I think that is excellent news, because like I said last week or the week before that, I want Traktor to see working with much more care, especially entry level, if they want to establish some kind of momentum again. In that same breath, talking about Traktor, Native Instruments, there was a Discord session, live session, with the dude who designed Traktor MX2 and MX4, and the Traktor Pro Reddit sub, Lord Carlos, did go to that Discord meeting. I don't like to go to Discord. It looks too old-fashioned for me, and that's coming from an old guy. But Lord Carlos was, and he was attending that live stream, and there are some questions asked, and the answers to it are right here. Some interesting questions asked. The most important thing is that that Traktor Play and that Traktor will be library compatible. It's just the serial number that changes the Traktor Live or Play into the full version of Traktor, and I think that is very important, that indeed it is backwards compatible. I will post this link also under the video so everybody can read what this was about. There is also another synopsis there. So good stuff from Lord Carlos at Reddit about the Traktor Play there. What is happening in my live stream? Let's have a look. It would be better if the 10 memory queues are also part of the one library. No, Stin Aldo, we cannot do that. And the reason for that is 10 memory. How would you do that in DJ? Then you need to convert it back, then you need to set up rules. So I want each DJ software also to have its own unique selling points without conflicting with the one database ID. So 8 hot queues, 8 loops should be enough for everybody, but if you want more, fine. Track colors, beat grids, that kind of stuff should be interchangeable without shifting. And like I said last week, I have the technology to do that, not shifting, but then everybody should be on board, because there needs to be something done in order to make that possible, and that something is not everybody being on the same encoder, because that will mean that from that moment all the past stuff will shift. No, I have technology that will allow everybody to work queues, loops, beat grids without shifts in that one database. Do you think we'll see an iOS version of Serato, Traktor, Virtual DJ or Rekordbox anytime soon? Actually, should you, sir, that was a question in that Discord live stream where there was asked, let's see, where is that? Mobile version of Traktor, like Traktor DJ2. The answer was, fuck no, brother. So I think that kind of sums it all up. Not going to happen for Traktor. Rekordbox already has an iOS version, but that is a very different beast from your regular Rekordbox. Serato, I don't know. They have a new code base, so it should technically not too difficult, but I'm not sure that they are interested in going that route. So until further notice, I think Algorithm DJ is the only true DJ software that is available on iOS, and to be honest, it is great software for that. So do we need more? More is always better, but I am very happy with having DJ on iOS available. Let's see, what else do I have on the menu? Namm we did, Traktor Play we did, the comments from the Discord. Let's talk one library, folks, because that remains to be a very interesting topic, isn't it? For those of you who haven't watched last week live stream, please do so, because I talk about some very important things that are with one library. Of course, last week I didn't have much time to dive into one library, simply because it was released earlier that morning, and the only app that is still working with one library is only Algorithm DJ and of course Rekordbox and CDJs, but that's logical because this is just the device library plus, but then rebranded one library. The algorithm implementation still needs a lot of work. Last week I already showed you that if you export the same playlist twice, it will be twice on the USB. But there are some other issues, and for that let's have a look together, shall we? So let's go to this part of the screen, and let's do this from scratch, why not? Let's close out DJ right there, and then let's open Rekordbox. And here you think, hey Mixmaster D, I thought we were going to DJ, why do you go to Rekordbox? I will show you, because in Rekordbox I now have my full encoder Rekordbox library, which is the thing that I use when I measure encoders. That part of the database I installed on this part of my computer, so I can access it. And then we can play and have some fun with it. So we'll do that in a moment. I don't know why Rekordbox is taking so long to start up, but hey, there we go. The further we get in versions, oh, this is still 7.26. Oh, all right, that is indeed a slow one. Should I update it quickly? Nah, I'm good. Okay, as you can see, this is a huge Rekordbox, or not a huge, this is a Rekordbox collection. And there are some focus tracks there. Let's give it some more focus tracks, because we are going to have some fun with it, shall we? Like this. And these tracks are all known to shift, because these are all MP3s. And before I dive into that, let me remind you, if you convert between various DJ software, MP3 files or AAC files, and you don't use correction, your cues, your loops, your beat grid will shift, period. I explained in depth last week why that happens, but just take my word for it. If you go from DJ software to DJ software, not every MP3, but some MP3s, and not every AAC, some AACs will shift, and you have to compensate for that. Compensating for that is a huge job, because what you need is essentially every encoder that is a piece of software that creates an MP3, and there are a gazillion encoders out there, every encoder on your computer, and then measure if it shifts, and if it shifts, how much it does shift for each various DJ software. So that's a huge job. I have a rather big database with those encoders that cause shifts, and right now on my computer are some tracks that some shift, some don't shift, and they are just there to demonstrate you some things with it, and that's the reason why I show that. So here we are, and I have made a playlist named Focus Tracks. Now if I export this collection to XML, Rekordbox, let's go, replace it, and then I can quit Rekordbox. Now Algorithm DJ these days can read a Rekordbox XML, but that is not really what you want to do because of those encoder shifts. So let me show you what happens if you do that. You have right here the thing that makes it kind of quit. Why does it quit? I don't know. Oh, okay. we go to the Rekordbox collection. I need to point that Rekordbox XML that I just exported, which is in my documents folder, and there it is. Allow access. I really hate this. Go away, allow access. Allow access. Continue. Okay, right now we have access, and if we go to the focus tracks, which are right here, and we load up this track, for instance, then you can see that these cues are not where you want them to be. And I hear you think, yo, Mixmaster G, are they where you want them to be in Rekordbox? Yes, they are. Let me show you. And this is what is known as an encoder shift. Go away. Let's keep them both open. Where is it? There it is. You can see those cues are exactly where you want them to be, which is a far cry from what you see right here. Now you can imagine if I export this to a CDJ USB, you have even bigger problems because you are going to make that even worse. So let's do that. Let's insert a USB, and before I'm going to export to a CDJ USB, let's speak about that very quickly because some people still get confused about how you should format a CDJ USB and why you should format a CDJ USB. Now, before I can format a CDJ USB, I need to quit all my apps. Let me insert that drive right now. Then if you go to applications and you go to utilities and you go to disk utility, this is the thing that you use to format a drive. Now, if you don't have this view, make sure that you are in the show all devices view. Reason for that is the following. I can now click the top level of this drive. If I'm not in this view and only in the volumes view, I miss certain parts. I can say erase, but what I cannot say is what partitioning scheme I want to use to format that drive. Partitioning scheme, think about it as an index, a content index. And of course that is very important, and you've got various ways to create partitioning schemes. If I go to show all devices and I click the top level of that device, which is the name of the drive, and I do erase, then all of a sudden I have scheme there, and you can see that I can choose between 3 various partitioning schemes. For a CDJ USB, you want it to be a master boot record. Period. That is the scheme it needs to be. And if you want to be sure that it is a master boot record, then you need to be in this view. Then the next question is, yo Mixmaster G, how should I format it? What kind of format should that USB be? And that kind of depends on what you are going to do. If you are only using CDJs that were produced in the last 15 years, and you only use the USB on macOS computers, then macOS Extended Journaled is the preferred one. 2 reasons: it's much faster than any of the other formats, and the other reason is that it's more robust. If you yank out a USB, it will not damage that quickly. So those 2 reasons, speed, and it will be not damaged that quickly, are the main reasons why you want to be on macOS Extended if it's possible. Now, if you want to use only the latest Alpha Theta stuff, that is the Opus Quad, the Omnis Duo, the CDJ 3000 or newer, then you can go XFAT. XFAT is a little bit more robust than FAT32. It is slower on macOS to export to, but you can also access it from a Windows computer, and important, you can access it from Engine OS gear. macOS Extended is not supported on all Engine OS gear, XFAT is. And finally, when your USB needs to work on all the gear that you possibly can encounter, then you need to go FAT. But FAT can damage very easily and will be very slow to export to. I am going to use this drive only on this computer, which is a macOS computer, and maybe on a 3000X. That means I go for macOS Extended because that will give me all the benefits of speed and robust export. Now, I know there are some people who think, yo, it doesn't matter how you export it in speed. It does matter on macOS. Trust me, I did a huge test with a real-life Rekordbox collection, exporting to various formatted drives, and it makes a huge, huge difference. 𝐷𝐸CU, what would you say is the most stable encoder that works without any shifting in any software? 𝐷𝐸CU ain't no such thing. FLAC, AFF, those audio formats don't shift. Everything that is lossless doesn't shift. However, it comes with their own issues. And it's not like you can determine what kind of encoder you want to use, because the encoder is baked into the software you use. So if you use 𝐻LD, then you have a different encoder than you use iTunes. In my experience, the MP3s that iTunes / the music app generates are the kind of best ones and the most robust, the less shifting, but they still may shift in certain instances. Maybe not as severe as the one I just showed you, but they will shift. In the meantime, I have formatted that USB and it's called Untitled, which is a very stupid name, so let's call this CDJ. And then let's go back to algorithm DJ. And then let's go right here. And then I thought I just configured this. Why can't it remember what I want to do? Anyway, let's do it like this. There we are again. And then let's go to the focus tracks. And I'm going to make these tracks, the focus tracks, part of my collection, which right-click, add to my collection. I'm still in the Rekordbox XML part of DJ, but if I go to its native part right now, then you can see that this is part of the native part of the collection. Let's quickly analyze those tracks. There we go. And let's load this track up because it is so much fun. And there you can still see that it is an absolute mess. Now you can imagine that this only gets worse if you export to a USB. So let's do exactly that. First I need to tell the system that I allow it to export again. Why algorithm? Why? But okay, it is your party, your app. Right click and then add the focus tracks to the USB library. And as you can see right here, it is doing that right now as we speak. Now, not everybody has a CDJ to test that USB. Lucky enough, Rekordbox is free for you to test this, and it's your best test to see if that USB will work. So, right now it will inform us that the device library and the normal library are no longer in sync with each other, and there is no way to repair this. So I don't know why it's even bothering to tell us this, because we cannot fix that. But again, this is their stuff, not mine. Right here we have the focus tracks. This is the USB that we are looking at, and let's see what happened to that track right here. Now you can see that in order to the cues, which went back, because remember, if you shift one way, you shift back the other way. So this looks fine. This is what you want it to be, right? However, your grid will now be totally off because that was not compensated. And 𝐷𝐞𝐤𝐾 is going to do the cue points. That's fine for you, 𝐷𝐞𝐤𝐾, but it's not just the cue points, it's the beat grid, it are the loops. By the way, loops are not exported right now, so it is a big deal, trust me. 𝐻𝐵𝗿𝗃, hi Mixmaster D, DJ Pro added sort 2 columns, so you can sort key and BPM. Yes, they did, 𝐻𝐵𝗿𝗃, and that is one of the very good things. By the way, that one library thing is also a good thing, but it should be implemented much better than it is implemented right now. So there you have it, what happens to cues and the unpredictability that comes with this whole ecosystem, and that is a huge problem. But we can go a step further because let's go back to Algorithm DJ. Let's quit the Rekordbox here and let's go back to Algorithm DJ. Let's give it a cue right here. And let's tell the system that this cue is a DJ cue. So the green cues are coming from Rekordbox. This is a blue cue and that is coming from DJ. And while I'm at it, let's give it a loop too. So let's move it a little bit further. And then to the loop section, create a loop. And then say loop the loop. There we have it. So let me go back and forth quickly like this. And then we have the loop that was saved. And if we go to the cues, we have a DJ cue and we have the normal cue. Let's see what happens with this track if we export the focus track again to the CDJ USB. And again, your problem is going to be that right now you get 2 playlists. There you are. There's the second playlist. So now we have 2 playlists by the same name. And if I load this track right here, it looks like it has that cue and it looks like it has that loop, but this information is not coming from the USB. I know that as a fact. So let's have a look together what's happening in Rekordbox. And for that I need to fire up Rekordbox. Yep, 𝐷𝐞𝐤𝐾, it will, but that's only in DJ and that's not on the CDJs. The shift will happen on CDJs and you cannot hold your cue on a CDJ to snap it to the next grid, and that's the whole point. So no, my friend, trust me, this is an issue, and that was the last thing that I'm going to speak about it with you. If you are happy with the way you can do this, more power to you. Back to the playlist. Here we are again. Let's go to that USB. And on that USB, I did update the track, remember. And now we've got 2 playlists there with new information. If I load it up, then you see that the DJ cue is there. However, it lost its color. It's now green. And the cue is nowhere to be found, not in the hot queues and not in the memory queues. So that is also a problem added up to it. You don't export cue colors. All your cues will be green, and you don't export loops at this moment. And then we also had this discussion about yo Mixmaster G. What if you need to spin on all the gear that needs the device library instead of the one library? And like I said, I spent a good chunk of time the past days fixing an app, updating an app that is already a little bit long in the tooth, and that app is called USB to Rekordbox XML. That app is bundled with the DJ conversion utility, so if you buy the DJ conversion utility, you get that for free. And that app converts een that app converts een device library plus, a one library USB, into an XML. Now, for those of you, to refresh your memory, an XML is not a collection. An XML, like a USB, is kind of a transmission mechanism. It passes through information. Like I just used the Rekordbox XML to get information from Rekordbox into DJ. You can also use that same XML to get information from whatever you like, from one app to another. And what USB to XML does is it creates an XML out of that device library plus library. So let's go back to my desktop and let's start up USB to Rekordbox XML. The fun part is it doesn't have a user interface. You just start it up and then it will, if you gave it all the correct permissions. So let's do that together. It helps if you do these kind of stuff before you go live, but then again, why not? We can do it like this. And let's see what we can do right now. This should be good. And there we go. So what this does is it creates a Rekordbox XML. That Rekordbox XML can serve as a base for the DJ conversion utility. And this is important, folks, because right now this is the only way to convert a one library USB into a Serato USB. Because if I start up the DJ conversion utility right now, where is it? There it is. And I tell it that though yes, we are already on winter time. So yes, our clock changed this weekend. So until the US syncs with us, we will be at that time. I can tell the DJ conversion that we come from Rekordbox XML, and I can tell it that I want to go to Serato. And if you look right here, you see that it selected automatically the Rekordbox U2X XML. That is that XML, that USB to XML the app just created. And again, that app comes free with both the Denon conversion utility as well as with the DJ conversion utility. And here you see the contents of that USB, the two playlists, which is very stupid. Let's pick one of them. And here we go. I'm waiting for the system to finish. Oh, it's starting up Serato right now. So that might take a little while because Serato is very slow in starting up. And then that USB is all of a sudden a Serato USB. And it will work in Serato, and you see that when it finally starts up. Take your time, Serato. We have all day. All right, though, that's good. David, I don't know what you mean by AI radio app, but indeed, next week then you will be synced in. And if you look right here, then you see here the focus track with all the tracks in it, and we can just load. Where am I? Like this. We can load it up. Of course, the grid is shifted because remember that grid was shifted on the USB, but everything else is just fine and compensated for as it should be. So yes, you can use those one library USBs in Serato 2 with a little bit of help of the USB to XML and the DJ conversion utility. Now that same XML that was created, the U2X XML, is also on the USB right here. And that XML will help you to make a normal device library USB out of this device library only, one library only, USB. How does that work? Bear with me because this is going to get a little bit complex, but you need Rekordbox, of course. And then let's stop with it. I need to tell Rekordbox, and you do that under Advanced, that it needs to use the 𝐜𝐴2𝐿 database, and that's this one, the 𝐜2𝐿 XML. And then we can go to the XML part in Rekordbox, and right here we have the whole thing. If I right click it, I can say import playlist, and it will import all that information inside Rekordbox. So right here we have the information inside Rekordbox. Of course there will be shifts because, like I told you, the whole system was shifted. Go away. And it needs to analyze it, which is doing right now. Now remember that DJCU, that of course is shifted because that DJCU was set in DJ and didn't have the fair compensation. These cues came from Rekordbox original and still look the same. And that is exactly the reason why we need to make one standard that universally speaks back and forth. Because if I set cues in DJ on this track and I use them in Rekordbox, then you have a problem. By the way, also notice that this is now a green or a blue cue instead of a green cue. Again, if we look at it from the USB, I can still access the USB right here in the one library part. And then if we look that same track up right here, and there it is green, and there it's also shifted, but because 𝐜2𝐿 knows the colors that algorithm uses, that is one of the updates that I made to 𝐜2𝐿. It will now have the proper color at least, so that is something that can be maintained as well, but it will be shifted compared to the other cues. Now I have this information inside Rekordbox. I need to analyze all these tracks, because before you can export you need to analyze them. And if you don't analyze them for BPM and grid and for key, and only for phrase because you need to enable something, then the grid from algorithm DJ will be remained. It will stay inside the system. However, keep in mind that grid may shift because there is no proper compensation used. Again, long story, it is what it is. The thing is that I thought it's easy to fix because I have the DJ compensations in the DJ conversion utility. The problem is algorithm does compensate sometimes and sometimes it doesn't, which means that the values I have for the conversion from DJ are totally useless. So I'm not implementing that right now. It is, if a lot of people are going to use this, it is implementable, but it will take like 2 days to compensate for that, and I'm not sure I'm willing to invest that time in it right now, especially because this is not a full-grown system and I have a better solution if everybody can get on board. Everything has been converted right now, and if I then export this playlist to the USB like this, and it tells me there already exists one, I know. Let's go. You can see that was a very quick export. The reason is it doesn't need to copy the audio files. It already knows the audio files are there. So all it needs to do is create that library. And if you look right now on the device library, then you see that that library is indeed available, and it even has the proper cue color now, and it should have, by the way, the proper cue color here as well. Let's double check that with you. Yeah, there you go. You see, that is fixed now. It now has the blue color because this is the XML information and not the information from Rekordbox or from algorithm DJ. I know it is a lot to take in. I know it is confusing as shit, but it is what it is, my friends. The takeaway from all this is that it's not perfect right now, the export to a CDJ USB from algorithm. I still recommend you to convert from algorithm DJ to Rekordbox and then create that USB in Rekordbox. That will always work and that will be the most reliable. But hey, if you really want to do this from DJ, be prepared to face some stiff problems that might throw your DJ set off at this moment. But it is doable, and especially if you use the new updated USB to Rekordbox XML, you have some extra features that are not available anywhere else. Sinaldo, can the CDJ 3000X communicate well with the CDJ 3000 via the Pro DJ link? I'm asking as they use different libraries. To be honest, Stinaldo, I don't know. In theory, DJ ProLink should always work, but I have heard very weird problems with it. But to be honest, those problems seems to be more about, for instance, sample AZs, so AZs that were not production AZs, but were sample AZs. I haven't tried it. I only have the 3000Xs here. I don't have any pre-3000X alpha theta gear to try it. So the only thing I can tell you is try it. That's the only thing I can tell you. Can you play tracks on the CDJ 3000 via Pro with the same memory sticks in the CDJ 3000? Yeah, that should be no problem, unless you have updated the 3000 to the ProLink or to the Device Library Plus library. Then again, I can see some issues, but I haven't tried this, so I cannot say for sure that you will have issues with it. Only thing I can say, try it. I will ask my friend 𝐓𝐴 if he will bring some older gear to the studio, maybe one of these weeks, so we can test this. But as it is right now, I would say no, don't try it before you buy it. That's the only thing I can tell about it. Alright folks, that also means that I spoke about everything that I need to speak about. Let me double check that again. Yeah, I have all the topics covered that I wanted to speak about. Which also means that if you got a question, feel free to ask it in the chat right now. And I'm happy to wait for those questions to pop in. And otherwise, I will be back next week. Again, if you are watching this live stream, or if you're watching this from an archive, don't forget to give the video thumbs up, like, share, subscribe and all that other good stuff, because you didn't watch any commercials at all. But that also means it will be a little bit harder to discover this YouTube video. So if you just help me out to make sure, to show how much people are appreciating this, then it becomes a little bit easier to discover even without monetization on. What am I watching this week? Of course, Gen V ended the series on Prime last week, and I really dig that series. For those of you who don't know it, Gen V is an offspring of the show The Boys, which is also a great watch. If you have a Prime account, make sure that you check out those shows. DJ Metaphysical. Should those of us that have all the Pioneer DJ standalone equipment be concerned regarding the longevity of the older units, that is the 𝐻𝐶, the RX3, if one library will never be available? I'm not sure, DJ Metaphysical. I think that the users of those kind of gear mainly are Rekordbox artists, and if you are on Rekordbox, that will always work with those things. The one library is more a thing for algorithm DJ, Traktor maybe in the future, and who knows who else. But if I can get my way and we can get this one DJ database initiative off the ground, then it wouldn't be an issue, because then even if you are on DJ, you can still go to Rekordbox and then create that CDJ USB from Rekordbox the way it should be. Because like I spoke about last week, the problem with the whole one library thing right now is that there is no accountability 𝐷𝐼𝐴 on their website say, listen, we cannot guarantee that every USB with one library will work on all the CDJs that support one library. And I think if you make statements like that, you already tell the people don't use it because we cannot guarantee it. So no credibility means no accountability, which means I think that CDJ USBs should only be produced at one place, namely Rekordbox, because then if that USB is not working, you know who to blame, and you don't give them the excuse to say, listen, we didn't make it, you made it in DJ or you made it somebody else. So for that reason, I want Rekordbox to be the end-all to be-all that creates the USB. However, I want Rekordbox to speak to all other DJ software, to pull the playlists, the beat grids, the cues and the loops, so you can then export it from Rekordbox very quickly to a USB. DJ 𝐷𝐞𝐿, I see you. I wait for your question, buddy. So yes, I've watched The Boys. Of course, I was busy with the Amsterdam Dance event. I am right now watching Foundation, which is an Apple TV show. I didn't know existed, but it is very good. It's based on Isaac Asimov story, and Isaac Asimov is the guy who gave you the short story, Does Androids Dream of Electronic Sheeps? And then you think, say what? That was a short story, but you know it better as I, Robot. It was the base for Bicentennial Man. Isaac Asimov is also the person who made the first 5 rules of robotics. And this is I've read the book once I saw what it was about, and I saw the show. I have read the books when I was very young. I don't remember them exactly, but that show is great. It's called Foundation. It's on Apple TV and also comes highly recommended. Then for this week, I have some work that I need to be on the Spotify to audio files app staff, yes, that will focus on Rekordbox and the cloud. Right now, staff is not fully compatible with the 𝐸𝐭𝐤𝐿, and I want it to be fully compatible with 𝐸𝐿. So that is something that I need to work on. So stand by for a staff update later this week, as well as an update to the DJ conversion utility and Denon conversion utility to include that new USB to Rekordbox XML. DJ Matt Official, thanks as always for answering our questions. Very much appreciate. You're more than welcome, DJ Matt. I do that because my passion and my love for of course this kind of stuff, and I know how damn nerdy it is. I don't know how technical it is, but somebody needs to speak about it, because otherwise it doesn't fly. Still waiting for the question from DJ 𝐸𝐿 to appear. There it is. Can you demonstrate transferring from one library USB to iOS? I tried and it did not work. No, I cannot, DJ 𝐸𝐿, simply because I don't have a USB iOS device with me. But from what I understood, it's just a matter of inserting an USB into an iOS device that runs DJ, and then you should be able to access it. If it doesn't work, make sure that the format of that USB is macOS extended and that it is MBR formatted, and make sure that that USB is not consuming too much power, because then it will fail. If you watch back this live stream, if you go back in time, then you will see me formatting a USB and telling you how to format it, and then I will export from algorithm DJ. We will test that USB in Rekordbox, and that should work in iOS as well, because I don't see why it shouldn't. But I don't have any USB-C iOS device with me at the moment, so unable to show or test that. Sorry, buddy. Okay, my friends, I am going to close the stream for this week. I'll be back next week, of course, same time. And then the times with the US should be synchronized as well, as far as I understood from 𝐷𝐻. So until then, thank you for watching me. Appreciate all of you hanging out with me each Tuesday, talking about DJ tech nerd shit. Mixmaster G, signing off.